Today we're talking marketing, how different strategies can work depending on where your cleaning business is at.
I'm Matt from Commercial Cleaning CEO. I run a commercial cleaning franchise system and work with cleaning business owners on marketing, sales, and growth.
We're each going to walk through how we approach marketing in our businesses and what's worked and why.
There's no single right answer here, just two strategies that can work really well depending on your goals and stage. So I got a question for you, Matt. What marketing channels mattered most to you guys at different stages?
That's a great question. I mean, I'm looking at it more from decades, right? So the decades that I'm going to put together here, 2001 to 2010, 2011 to 2019, and 2020 to present. In 2001, when we first really started what I would consider marketing, it was a lot of print media. We were spending a lot of money building the brand, and we were also, it's a different time. So we were handing out pretty brochures and, slick business cards and all of those types of things. There wasn't a lot of digital marketing at all. We were sending letters. Funny thing, a story is that Andrea, I don't know, maybe about a year ago, came to me and said, I think we should need to start sending templated letters, like actual letters in the mail. And I'm like, oh, okay, like these. And I went back into the archives and found all these letters from 2001 to 2010. When we got into 2011 to 19, I mean, that's when we started seeing a lot of things going into, the internet and YouTube, some social media. And I would say the biggest change for us was when Andrea joined our team as our marketing director. And it truly transformed how we were marketing to people, specifically with more of the digital, using SEO. It was just a complete transformation. We fast forward into 2020. That was when COVID, lockdown, etc. And that was a big transformational moment for us because we went to video and started to teach people on YouTube how to disinfect, how to protect themselves. That created the channel that we now have. It was the beginning of, I think, one of the most revolutionary times for OctoClean. We moved with the times and technology and optimizing our marketing to best serve the personas that we were trying to attract, whether that be customers or, OctoClean Media customers, clients. I would say another big thing that we've been doing over the last couple of years is account-based marketing. So just to simplify that, looking at specific accounts that we want to go after and creating marketing campaigns, video, et cetera, specifically for those accounts. Today, social media, YouTube, being social media, Instagram, et cetera, that's a branding vehicle that I think I completely underestimated the power of that. Matching that with the sales activities makes it a lot easier on the salespeople because there's a brand. There's something that's there that people can go to on their own, voluntarily, on their own time, and learn who we are. And we are beginning to hear that more and more. So I would definitely say the channels that have mattered the most for us has been, all of our social media marketing. All right, let's throw it over to Matt.
For our company, we're a lot younger. And so our history starts back in 2019. And the beginning of starting and marketing and growth and finding clients was all about what could we do in person. Because whenever you go up to a facility and you just simply ask, what can we do to work for you? It's a lot easier to get a lot better answers fast. Now, that's hard to do at scale, right? Like where I'm at now, I'm not out there every day doing that. But at the very beginning, we did things like bringing gifts to offices. We went to associational meetings. We did networking with other vendors. And we did try some things on the internet as well that were okay. But our best results came from just going in person. Now what we do is with our franchise owners and within our brand, yes, we still encourage them to go out, make a mess in the marketplace, as I like to say. But we also do a lot on the internet, like with Google Ads and with SEO and with the website. Out of the ones that I already mentioned, the ones that mattered the absolute most had to do with that in-person networking. So again, bringing gifts to offices and attending associational meetings. So whatever you could do and whatever I could do to get out there, add a face to the brand. That's what was so important, because people don't know what to expect from a company whenever it's brand new and it's unfamiliar to them without having met the owner themselves. And so now the most important ones with the stage that we're at in our company are going to be things that tap into existing demand that's out there. How can we be found by people that are actively looking for commercial cleaning services right now? So that's things like Google Ads, SEO, just showing up wherever someone's going to be looking for us. You know, I've got one, Matt. Where do you think owners are spending too much money too soon?
Running a cleaning business means juggling a lot. Inspections, specialty services, keeping every site on point. That's why we use Orange QC. It's a quality control platform that lets us track jobs, document results with photos, log chemical usage, and even send real-time reports, all from our phone. Want to see for yourself? Hit the link in the description for a 30-day free trial of Orange QC. Thanks to Orange QC for sponsoring this episode and for building a tool that actually works.
That's a great question. I think a lot of owners spend money too early on print media. You know, I talk to a lot of folks who are just starting out that think they need to have like some brilliant, beautiful flyer, and that's going to create this interest with people that are going to talk to when they're prospecting. It's not true. I mean, print is expensive. It's not going to give you the results that you're looking for. And that would go along with sending out mass mailers. I think that's a huge waste of money. For people, they're doing that way too early. Having a website that's like built out a little too much, you just need to have something that people can go to and see what you're doing. Keep it simple would be my response to those two things. What do you think, Matt?
I completely agree with spending a ton of money on blasting an entire zip code or all the zip codes and postcards. You don't need to do that. Also, what I see a lot being a coach and a franchisor is people don't need to go buy all these virtual assistants and pay someone to do all these cold calls in their markets, because you have to be able to manage a sales team to make that truly successful over time and to not waste your money. If you're trying to pay someone else to handle something you just don't want to get out there and go do, you might need to think about why you got in the business. Oh man, what about this hack? What marketing strategies do you see tend to compound over time?
Most obvious one should be SEO. What are you doing to optimize, your search engine results? That's going to be a gift that keeps on giving. And some of that is, obviously going to be optimizing, but it's going to be blog posts, evergreening information, over time. That's going to have benefits to your business. To start, it's a heavy lift, and it doesn't give you a whole lot of rewards, but you just got to be patient. What do you think, Matt?
When I think of what compounds your marketing, or what enables your marketing to carry itself more and more and more because you're already doing something, the first and best marketing is remarkable service. Now, I know that sounds so lame, so straightforward, but here's the truth. You look at the most successful companies that are out there, not just in the cleaning space, but take a look at Tesla. Take a look at Apple whenever Steve Jobs was running it. They didn't have marketing budgets. All that they did was have a remarkable product. And the reason it's called remarkable is because people talk about it. And that's how it sold and how it grew and how it built a following. So in the commercial cleaning space, we need to take note of that. If our service is remarkable, it's worthy of being remarked about in a positive way, right? No complaints. We don't want to deal with all those issues. If we're doing a great job, then they're naturally going to tell their other colleagues at other buildings and facilities about us. Now, the second compounder to this is going to maybe sound a little bit like the first, but I'll distinguish it for you. This is going to be always be asking who you can help. Instead of just saying, hey, who can you refer me to? Or do you have any referrals you can send my way that I can also take care of? It sounds a little bit like they're helping you. But if you say, do you know anyone else who I could help? I encourage you to say it after every sales conversation. They might even be a prospect or a full client yet, right? You may have just done a walkthrough. Who else do you know that could use my help? They might actually know someone. It can be after solving a problem for a client. Glad to see that we solved that for you, Mr. and Mrs. Client. By the way, is there anyone else that you know that could use our help? It can be during any client meetings. It can be at any stage in the client process. You could even be bold enough and ask it whenever a client, for some reason, canceled your service. You can ask it anytime. It never hurts to ask because they're going to know people. And if you ask it enough within your existing client network, they're going to get trained to think that way and to send referrals to you. And that's going to help you be encouraged and emboldened to provide that remarkable service, right? That is free. All it takes is an ask. Let's take it a layer deeper. How does your marketing support getting the types of clients that you want?
I mean, I think this is something that people don't do well enough. I mean, you truly have to have a niche or a couple of those. If your marketing is too generalized, you're gonna, miss out on a lot of the types of clients that you would consider quote unquote ideal. So what we do is we tailor a lot of our marketing around those specific industries or for us would be franchise personas that we're looking for. I think the tailoring of our marketing specific to industry personas is been key for us in our success. What do you think, Matt?
What's important to remember is the way that you do one thing, it's a very strong indicator to a potential client about how you're going to do everything within their service. So the way that you market really does have an impact on what they expect when services start. When we market, we try to avoid doing a lot of impersonal things, treating people just like a number, right? So we don't do a lot of blasts. We don't do a lot of impersonal calls. We do a lot of personal touch marketing. Now, of course, we do have the internet stuff, right? That's just capturing existing demand. But we try to be as personal as possible through the process, whether that's going in person or dropping things off or doing associational meetings and the whole list of things that we talk about. But it's all about how can we personalize this as much as possible because that's what they're looking for in a service. And so whenever we think of how does our marketing support the type of clients that we want, those are the ones we want. The opposite of that is if you're just going to have some VA out of another part of the world cold call your entire market, then they're probably going to get you a bunch of appointments for people who are just picking the lowest price they can find. That's not the kind of client that you want. You want someone who cares, who really needs your help, and that you care about to serve.
All right, everyone, that wraps up our video on marketing strategies. And I'd really like to thank Matt for coming all the way over from North Carolina to be part of this video with us.
Thank you to Matt, and to Andrea, and Jordan, and the entire OctoClean team for having me out here. Do subscribe to their channel. I'm subscribed to their channel. Learn from them. They know what they're talking about.
If you do not follow Matt, please go to the Commercial Cleaning CEO YouTube channel and subscribe. Please feel free to leave any comments here. As always, we thank you so much for your participation in watching these videos. And if you're not subbed to us, you better be. Until next time, we'll see you later.